Learning scholars, and welcome back to POL450, Research Methods for Political Science. We made it through week one, so now let's take a look at what we have in store for us for here in week two. I'm here on learning activities. And if you haven't had the opportunity already, I can't stress enough how important it is to view these two videos. Hopefully you've already watched the syllabus video and have got an idea of how the layout of this course is going to go. The second video that's incredibly important is this research prospectus video. And with it, the two accompanied files, the prospectus example and the prospectus template. This class is built a little different than the typical classes that you maybe have had here in Ops. This class is built in building blocks. Each week you build a certain block, and eventually in week 8 we're going to put all those blocks together, and that is going to be your research prospectus. As opposed to other classes where you learn something over 8 weeks and there's a final test or exam or paper you need to write, this class is built on a weekly basis. So it's so important that you go through this video to get a good understanding of what a research prospectus is, because I know that's probably going to be a new term for many of you. To maybe calm your nerves on the task that you have ahead of you, look at the template, look at the example, and I hope that will help you each week. If you're diligent and put the work in each week, week 8 in this class is incredibly easy. As opposed to some of your other classes where that's where the work starts, it's going to be easier in this class. So I wish you the best of luck, and your success is going to be dependent upon watching this video and getting a firm grasp of what a prospectus is. So now let's hop into week 2. So for week 2, we have a number of activities. We have a reading assignment out of our IRB handbook. So we're getting away from our textbook this week, and we're going to hit our IRB handbook. It's all about ethics and research guidelines. So this is really the building block. I just said that every week is building blocks. But this week we kind of take a pause, and we're going to talk about the ethical side of research, and so that we have a good grasp of what is considered ethical research as we move in the weeks to come. So your reading assignment is the CBU IRB guidelines. So you can download a copy. There's a pathway to get to that handbook, and once you get to that handbook, that will have all the information necessary for you to navigate this week's. If I'm sorry, and I apologize ahead of time, IRB is the Institutional Review Board Guide. So all research here at CV, all academic research, has to go through an institutional review board to mostly, and when you go through this week, what you're going to find is what IRB does is it protects the human subjects that we're researching. We protect them from manipulation, their privacy, so that the make sure that the study is ethical, that we're not hurting, harming, or exploiting any of our human subjects. And you'll see how this all makes sense when you go through those guidelines. This week, I've attached also a PowerPoint lecture on research ethics. My recommendation always, in all of the weeks, is review the PowerPoint, do the reading, and then review the PowerPoint again. And if you've seen something 3 times, you understand that that is going to be something significant that you're really going to need to retain, or it's a critical point for this course. So now let's hop right into our first written assignment, our first deliverable, our IRB guidelines. So we have a 25-point possible this week. After viewing all the week's videos and downloading the IRB handbook, please answer the following questions. So there's a series of questions here. The first one is, what is the CBU Institutional Review Board? How many members are on the CBU IRB? What is the general rule concerning research at CBU? What does a student researcher need to, when does a student researcher need to seek IRB approval? What are the 3 main categories for human participants research at CBU, and how do they differ? What must be included in the expedited research IRB application? What is an informal consent, and what information must be included in it? And what is assent from minors form, and when must it be used? Now, I know that you are all college level academics, and you know for certain that when I ask you a question, I'm looking for more than one word. So we are all going to utilize college level writing. And when we answer each one of these questions, we answer it and we explain like we will at the academic level. So the grading rubric is there, 15 points for integrating all components, and then 10 points for writing at a college level through correct grammar, spelling, APA citations, and reference. And once again, I am looking for depth. I don't expect, multiple pages by any means for each one of these questions, but I want more than just this is what it is. Give me some explanation. Give me some academic level responses. Like all of our assignments in this course, this assignment is going to be due on Sunday at 11:59. So you have an entire week, so use proper time management to get this assignment in on time. The next assignment that we have is our application exercise for this week, which is the ethical dilemma. With the academic, with this ethical dilemma, I've provided you a series of YouTube videos. I want you to, the questions that I ask are, what specific violations of CBU Institutional Review Board policy do you find in each of these cases? And how could the information found in each of these studies be researched in a way that would comply with accepted ethical practices? So I'm going to review these this morning to make sure all these links are there. If you see that there might be 2 links or 4 links or so when you actually get into this course this week, don't be alarmed. It's just because some of these links are maybe a little old, and I'm going to review them as soon as I'm done here to make sure that they're accurate. But whatever videos there are when you view it or when you get to this assignment, I want you to view the video. They're quick, and then to ask yourself, what was the ethical violation? How would CBU deal with this? And is there any way that you could work around and still do this research in an ethical way? And these are some fairly significant ethical, well, I won't say fairly, these are huge ethical violations. And so I'm looking forward to your replies. So 25 points possible. Answer all the required components and accurate, use some college level writing through correct grammar, spelling, and APA citations. So 25 points there as well. And once again, Sunday, 11:59. And finally, we have our discussion board for the week. So discussion boards, remember, with all of our discussion boards, this is what differs when we're in online education as opposed to in-class education. In in-class education, we'd be sitting in a room and we would have dialogue and we would be able to communicate between one another, and discussion boards take that role in online education. So these would be those discussions that we would have in person, and that's why it's so important for me that we put some depth, that we put some work, that we actually take this portion serious, because this is the piece that's lacking in online education. So use the discussion board to discuss the videos and your personal reaction to the 3 studies reviewed for each of the 2 application assignments. Your original post needs to be 300 words. I think 300 words is the amount of words that you need to have depth and an academic response. I know that we're no longer in high school, and by no means do I feel that we should be putting word counts. I think we're beyond that, but I just put that 300 words because that is what I feel it would take for us to have an academic response. So a 300-word response for your original post, and then you need to reply to 2 of your other students' posts. And once again, I want depth. I don't want to hear, I agree with, good job, I like your vision on this, I think the same way. I want you to add to the academic conversation. So 15 points for your original post, and then 10 points for each additional post. So there you go, scholars. That's week 2. So here in week 2, we are going to be working on our IRB portion. Once we get through our IRB portion, we will get back into working on our prospectus. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, you need to reach out to me. I don't think there's a problem we can't solve without an email, but I guarantee we can't solve any problems if you don't communicate them. So get a hold of me if you have any issues, and so we'll solve those as quick as possible so we can get through this second week of POL450. So take care. I'll be thinking and praying of you for this week. Have a safe week, and I look forward to all of you next week. Bye for now.